guys, so today we're going to be talking about the next piece in the armor of God. But I'm going to see if you can figure out what that piece is. So I'm going to turn to the book of Ephesians chapter 6 and I'm going to read verse 15. And I want you to see if you can figure out what the next piece is in the armor of God. Verse 15 says, "And as shoes for your feet, having put on the readiness given by the gospel of peace." Do you think you know what the next piece is? Absolutely. It is the shoes of the gospel of peace. Now you might be asking yourself, shoes? Why are we going to talk about shoes? Well, if you were watching the clip that started our video, you saw my little helper Lincoln, and Lincoln was helping me demonstrate something. You see, I asked Lincoln to run towards me 2 different times. The first time he ran towards me, Lincoln was wearing shoes that were meant to fit his feet, shoes that were made in his size. He didn't have any trouble running towards me when he was wearing shoes that fit his feet. But the second time that he ran towards me, did you see that he had a little bit more trouble? You see, he was wearing shoes that were not made to fit his feet, shoes that were too big, shoes that were really his dad's. And so because he didn't have the right shoes on, it made the task of running towards me just a little bit more difficult. You see, Roman soldiers needed to have the right shoes. They needed shoes that fit their feet, that protected them, and that would help them to be ready for whatever was coming next. They needed to be ready to go into battle, and they needed shoes that fit them properly to help them stand their ground. You see, when we put on the armor of God, we need to have the right shoes, shoes that fit us, shoes that are made of the gospel of peace. Now you might be asking, what is the gospel of peace? It's really simple. The gospel of peace is this. It's the good news of Jesus. You see, the gospel of peace is that Jesus came to earth and lived a perfect life, that he died on the cross for the sins of this world, and that he rose again 3 days later, and then he eventually ascended up into heaven with his Father, where he's waiting to come back again. See, the gospel of peace is easy. It's just the good news of Jesus. And it's the peace that Jesus brings us. You see, Roman soldiers were often sent on a mission. But they aren't the only ones who were sent on a mission. You see, Jesus had some helpers, the 12 disciples, and they were sent on a mission as well. Now their mission was to tell others about the good news of Jesus. See, the book of Matthew, chapter 28, says, Jesus, as he's talking to his disciples, says, "Go therefore and make disciples of all nations, baptizing them in the name of the Father and the Son and the Holy Spirit, teaching them to observe all that I have commanded you. And behold, I am with you always to the end of the age." See, Jesus gave his disciples an order, a command to go do something. He gave the disciples a job to go out and to leave the town that they were in and to tell people all over the world the good news of Jesus. They had to go and walk with the gospel of peace, taking it with them to tell everyone the good news of Jesus. What an important job. The disciples were to go, they were to baptize, and they were to teach. They were to show new believers what it meant to follow Jesus. You see, God tells us to do the same thing. We have been given the job to go and to share the good news of Jesus with people that don't know the truth of who he is. See Romans chapter 10, verse 15. And how are they to preach unless they are sent? As it is written, how beautiful are the feet of those who preach the good news. See, our job isn't to keep Jesus just for ourselves. Our job is to take the gospel of peace, to take those shoes, and to go and to tell others about who Jesus is and what he has done in our life. It's our job to share with others. We need to put on our shoes, fitted with the gospel of peace, and we need to be ready to share all about the goodness of Jesus. We need to share what he has done for each of us, and we need to help so that others can come to believe in him. So what are you waiting for? Let's grab our shoes, let's put them on our feet, and let's go share the good news of Jesus with a world that needs to know all about his love and goodness. Well, thanks guys for joining us today. I hope you have a great day, and we love you and we miss you. Bye guys.